All right. Thank you for joining me for the walkthrough video today. This is going to be the first full deck walkthrough video for the channel, and I'm going to start out with the Tarot del Toro because this one did just come out not that long ago. I had it on pre-order since probably May on Amazon, and it finally was delivered a few days back. I have left the cards in their original order so that I could go through them in order on the walkthrough here today. The box is actually really nicely done. The Tarot del Toro letters that make up the words there, as well as the hand here, are sort of raised off the box. I don't know if you could see that in the camera. There you go. That might be a better angle for it. So you can see that they're all kind of raised. On the box there, the side says inspired and supervised by Guillermo del Toro. The top of the box is just a Tarot del Toro title. This side says designed and carved by Tomas Hijo. And this is from Insight Editions Publishing. This is the inside of the box here. Really cool all over print. Here is the book. And it says here, a tarot deck and guidebook inspired by the world of Guillermo del Toro. With the foreword of the book is actually written by Guillermo himself, and then the rest of the book has been written and illustrated by Tomas Hijo. This is a wood carved deck. He did carve all of the images. The book is actually really nice, and it is full color pictures. Yep, this one was published by Insight Editions. Okay, and that is the book. And then here we have the deck itself. The inside of the bottom of the box is printed with the same pattern as the top. Here's the backs of the cards. So it's not reversible, but it is really intricate there. And just to read you the back of the box here, it says, discover the hidden messages of tarot with this original deck inspired by the wondrous world of Guillermo del Toro. This deck, created under the supervision of master filmmaker and designed and illustrated by Tomas Hijo, features sumptuous original artwork inspired by the themes, imagery, and characters of some of Del Toro's most popular films, including Pan's Labyrinth, Crimson Peak, and The Shape of Water. This is the deck here. Again, this is all scanned wood carvings, so he did carve each of these images into wood plates, and then if you look, you can kind of see how the image was torn when it was scanned. So you have like this little image of a hole in this particular picture, and then if you look closely enough, you can kind of see the scan on the card. The cardstock is real nice. It's that matte finish. And it is a pip deck. So let's go ahead and go through the cards here. So here we have the Ace of Discs. Or it almost looks like he's forged this particular disc here. The discs are going to be cogs almost, or gears, whatever you would like to call them. Here we have the 5 and the 6. Here we have the 7. I like how the colors kind of change and the patterns or whatever as you work your way through the minors here. Definitely like the arrangement of the minors. And then here we work our way into the court cards for the suit of discs. We have the Valet, the Knight, the Queen, and the King of discs. Then we go into blades. Here's the Ace, so you'll see while it's a pip deck, the pips are not exactly Marseille inspired. We have swords and knives here that make up the suit of blades here, but it's not necessarily Marseille or Rider-Waite inspired. As far as the pips are concerned, I do like the placement and arrangement of them though. And then here we have the court cards for the blades suit. The Valet of Blades, really like that card actually. The Knight of Blades, the Queen, who has seemed to have lost her head and it is now sitting on a platter, and the King. Here's the Ace of Goblets. It's a really cool card. Here's the 2, and then you'll notice that they have also added in these leaves here. Numerologically, I think that might play some sort of a role in the divination here. And this is a card where you see a good example of being able to see the actual carving itself. So if you look in the details here, you can actually see where it was carved out. So it's a very clear picture of the original wood carvings that Tomas Hijo did for the cards. Definitely a really cool deck. I love the detail in it. Again, we see more of those leaves as we work through the cups here. And I think that with pip decks like this, you can definitely take all of that kind of stuff into account, because at the end of the day, the pips could be very much, you know, plain, and then they choose to add things in when doing the artwork there. So I think that can definitely be taken into account when reading through these cards as you work with them. I like the placement of the 9 of Cups. I definitely like the pip arrangements. And here we have the courts for the cups. We have the Valet, the Knight, the Queen. Looks like the Statue of Liberty almost. Definitely with a different twist. You can see the buildings from what would be New York City behind you, and she's got the book and the goblet that she's holding up. And then you've got the King of Goblets here. We move into the wands. The ace is really nicely drawn. And we have the wands as we move through. You'll notice you can see the different colorations on some of the leaves as you work through. Just little things like that you notice with pip decks that could possibly have some sort of a meaning in a reading. Again, I definitely like the arrangements that we're seeing here through the pips, and more evidence of the carving, right? So you can definitely see in this one too, and a lot of the pips, where you can see the carve marks in the wood. It's a really well done deck. And then we've got 8, 9, and 10. And then we have the Valet. The Knight of Wands seems to be riding some sort of a praying mantis. The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. I really like these two together. probably the most colorful cards in the deck, with all the greens and reds and yellows that you see there. This might be one of my favorite cards. Actually, both of them might be some of my favorite cards. Definitely my favorite court cards in the deck, at the bare minimum. And then we work our way into the majors, where we have the Fool. The Magician is very Marseille inspired. The High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor. The Hierophant. Definitely an interesting card. The Lovers. The Chariot. Justice at card 8. So still on the Marseille style pip layout, or I should say major arcana layout. The Hermit. Super cool. He's got his eyes in his hands. I really like this card too. It's also very colorful. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have Strength. And the title on Strength actually has all the extra little lines there, like we see in a lot of Marseille decks. So we are definitely still seeing a lot of Marseille influence here in the majors. Here we have the Hanged. It's not the Hanged One or the Hanged Man, it's just the Hanged. Here we have Death, which is numbered but not titled. Also following that Marseille tradition, and it's even almost the same sort of art style for the Death card as a Marseille. He just seems to be facing the other direction. So it definitely seems like the majors here are heavily inspired by a Marseille deck. Here is the Devil. The Tower. The Star card. The Moon. The Sun. Judgment. And the World. And then at the bottom of the deck here we have the title card. Which is basically the same image from the book. So there you have it. That is the Tarot del Toro. Again, from Insight Editions Publishing. And recently released after a long-awaited pre-order. Probably going to see a lot of these videos popping up for this deck here in the next coming days and weeks. This is a beautiful deck. I definitely like the packaging. I feel like it was definitely put together with an extreme amount of detail in mind. I definitely like the way that it turned out. Definitely it was worth the wait. I do believe it is now available mass market. I did pre-order mine from Amazon, but definitely check this deck out if you can manage to get your hands on it. Definitely recommend it. So that is the Tarot del Toro. I want to thank you guys for stopping by for this particular walkthrough today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more walkthroughs, you can check out my deck collection series and pick out a deck and let me know which one you would like to see a walkthrough of. If I have not gotten to it yet, I will definitely bump it up the list. And I appreciate you for starting my YouTube journey with me as I finally move into creating content for the channel here. Again, I definitely appreciate you guys for coming by. Again, my name is Alex, and this is the Lazy Genius Tarot Bazaar. I appreciate you. I hope that you have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you guys on the next one.